Hi everyone, welcome to Isomers TV. I'm your host, Manuela Marcheggianni.
Co-host Patricia Frenza. Hello everybody.
Hi everyone. So today our topic is to do or not to do. That is the question. Skincare combinations to avoid or ingredients and skincare combinations to actually put together. Because there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of confusion out there. You know, I think that with the advent of a lot of manufacturing out there, social media influencers, a lot of experts and celebrities, everybody seems to be getting into skincare.
Yes. Yeah, so we saw this a lot through the pandemic or just after the pandemic. And a lot of people started doing their own research and their own things.
Right.
You know, and sometimes we don't get access to the right information. You know, it looks real and it sounds real, but it's not. And then what happens is you go out there and you misguide people, not intentionally,
Right.
but it happens. So we're here to help dispel the myths.
We misguide ourselves. We get all this information, diverse information. You know, you hear, you know, this brand says this, and that celebrity says that, and that influencer says that, and none of them really are formulators or cosmetic chemists.
But this is why we're different. Manuela and Darius always go back to the science.
Right.
So
And the formulation.
you have to take away the noise and what's around it, and you know, the pretty packaging or the beautiful face. Well, she's got a beautiful face too, or you know, the celebrity endorsements. But take all that noise around it, go back to the science, and that's what Isomers is all about.
We're about
Always has been.
Yeah, we've always been about keeping it simple, going back to the science. So what's happening right now is we find that everybody's trying to be a cosmetic chemist or an esthetician or at-home physician or whatever you want to call it, skincare expert. So you've got all this product that you've bought from the various outlets, and a lot of that product could be very good. I'm not saying the product's not good. I'm going to go with the assumption the product's all very good, and they say exactly on the ingredients and everything meets all the criteria. So let's go from that, right? But now you've got 5 or 6 or 7 different products, and you're layering and you're experimenting and you're mixing, and you think, well, if retinol is good, this other retinol is good. If I put the two together, I'll have something better. That's not what happens. You actually could be mixing very good formulas together and creating a mess, right? So today we're here to talk about that.
Yeah.
Today
and when you start mixing like that, if you come into a skin condition or a skin issue that wasn't there before, that didn't present before, you don't know what caused it. Was it a combination of them? Was it one product? Was it one ingredient? You're not really sure. So we're here to help you sort of separate that, put it together properly, telling you what not to do and what to do.
Right. So we're going to start with the what not to do, right? So first of all, one of the things what not to do is don't use your retinol or your tretinoin with your alpha hydroxy acids or your beta hydroxy acids, right? So what we're saying here is don't yourself mix your acids with your acids. Now, you could come across a formula, you could even come across one of our formulas that if you turn it on the back, it will have retinol and alpha hydroxy or beta hydroxy in a formula. We as cosmetic chemists have put it together with the right pH, the right ingredient, the right percentage or concentration, and it also sits in a carrier that understands these acids are living together. But when you're at home and you take retinol from company A, an AHA from company B, and maybe a cleanser from company C with a beta, and you mix all of this together, you put it on your skin screams, your skin gets irritated, and this is where Patricia has said, you don't know which one it is. Well, it's actually all of them. It's that combination that you've made, that soup that you've made on your skin, that's causing this. Because each one, as we said, let's all assume that each one of these are formulated properly. They're working exactly how they're supposed to. So now you've loaded up your skin. Instead of doing a low dose retinol, you've ended, and a low dose, 2% salicylic acid, you've actually now created a combination that exceeds the limits.
And then I think what happens from there, once your skin is uncomfortable, you're not happy with it, you take that skincare, you set it aside. If it's 1 brand, 2 brand, 3 brands, now you won't go back to that brand because you didn't have the opportunity to be properly educated and given the right information. So I hope you stick around for this whole episode so that you can learn how to avoid those mistakes.
Yeah, because sometimes you blame the brand, you blame
Yes.
the formula, and sometimes it's just user, the user themselves, just how you're operating or how you're utilizing it. So you can get better benefits. Like I hope that if you have a lot of product, we're helping you to separate them a little bit so you can actually maximize your skincare routine and minimize irritation. This is what we want to do.
Yep.
Another thing not to combine, vitamin C and copper peptides. Now, you can mix copper with peptides and vitamin C. That's a different animal than a copper peptide. A copper peptide is a certain type of ingredient that does not thrive in the acidic environment required for the vitamin C.
Okay, so what about our vitamin C and our copper P peptide?
Right. So our copper peptide is a ferment. So it's already gone through a conversion. And you can technically mix ours because ours is not the blue-green copper. But if it's the blue-green copper, don't add the vitamin C's to it. And the reason is you want to be able to benefit from both ingredients. You want to benefit from the copper, you want to benefit from the vitamin C. So split them up. Use one in the day, use one at the nighttime, but not together.
Right. We get that question a lot, and a lot of customers do come to us and say, well, I've heard you can't use vitamin C and copper together. You heard it from here, you heard it from the cosmetic chemist, that's why. But when it's an Isomers formula, we try to make sure that you have compatibility within your routine.
Right.
We want to give you the option to customize your routine and you're using exactly what you need.
Right. And ours, because ours is a ferment, so fermented skincare is different. And if it doesn't say Saccharomyces ferment on the ingredient, you don't mix it with your vitamin C. That's why we went the extra mile to give you the Saccharomyces. Because
She can't say that 10 times fast.
I can't.
I'm just saying.
Can't say many things sometimes.
I'm not even sure I could say it once.
Another thing not to mix together, and this is very interesting for a lot of people because everyone talks about niacinamide all day long. It's like the it's like the Switzerland of ingredients. Very peaceful, everybody loves it, gets along with everyone. But that's not 100% true. Niacinamide does get along with everyone. You can use it in many different ways. But what happens is we start using this with niacinamide, that with niacinamide, that with niacinamide, and all of a sudden, instead of 3 to 5%, we have 10, 15, 20% on our skin. And if you're using it with vitamin C doesn't like to be crowded with all of that niacinamide. So you need to use a low dose, no more than 5% niacinamide with your vitamin C. So that's another combination. Interesting, right? Benzoyl peroxide and retinoids. Retinoids, the acids you're going to hear us talk about a lot. So anything that's a retinoid, a benzoyl peroxide, an alpha hydroxy acid, these are like using something very harsh with something very harsh. They're both effective. You can't use both of them together. Using both of them together is overkill. This is why. So split them up if you want to.
It's like on your dinner plate, you have meat. There's no balance.
No balance.
Nothing to balance it out.
Right. You need to have something else with it. So when you're having your beef, have some oranges, right? To pull out the iron, to help you with the digestion.
Exactly.
See, it's all about the food combining. Here it's all about the chemistry combining. Retinoids and exfoliating scrubs. So this is a really interesting one, right? Because you're going to get your cleanser. You're going to scrub your skin. You're going to scrub it, and you're so enthusiastic because you want to make it very, very clean. And then what do? You put your retinol on, or you put your tretinoin on.
The skin is already open, compromised. It's been through a rigorous cleansing process. You don't want to put the retinoid on over top.
No, because now you compromise your skin barrier, right? So there's a skin barrier issue. There's a bit of a cushion, a bit of a lubrication that is missing, so that's going to be a little bit harsh. So you need to use a gentle cleanser with your retinoid, or don't do anything very strong. Also, again, don't, and I'm going to say it again, this is another one, combining your AHAs with your BHAs on your own. There was a huge trend where people were overloading on their AHAs and BHAs and putting 2 or 3 different formulas on and waiting for the burn. Why? Your skin is screaming.
We've always said skincare does not have to be uncomfortable.
No.
It really does not need to be uncomfortable to get benefits and results that you want. To get a laser-like effect without having a laser treatment, you don't have to have that burn.
Yeah. So I think we covered most of them. We went with the HAs and BH. Don't mix multiple chemicals together. Don't mix all your acids together. Don't, your copper and the copper peptides, the blue-green copper with a vitamin C, especially when it is an acidic vitamin C. That's also very important. Another thing is, don't mix your retinoids with the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that?
Because it's the sun.
Neutralizes. See?
Thank you, sorry.
We'll put people on the spot, because when we're live, you have to think on your feet. You see?
Okay.
I did that we're just playing here. But no, UV exposure. The retinoid, it will neutralize. It neutralizes under the UV. But also, when you are doing a protocol of alpha and beta hydroxy acids, tretinoin, retinoids, you must, the sun is something else you don't mix with your skincare.
Right.
So you need sun protection. That's very important.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand or really realize. They say, well, I was told to use my retinoid morning and night for better effect. But you have the choice. It won't be as effective. Maybe your skin is going to get even more irritated, especially if you're not wearing that sunscreen over top. And if you're mixing other acids along with it, that's just a scream for disaster.
Right.
Leave it to us. Leave it to
Right.
Manuela and our wonderful team to put these formulas together for you so that you're getting the right dose, the right concentration, the right delivery system, and skin that is going to be happy.
Yeah.
Not screaming back at you.
Skin, you don't want your skin to scream. You don't want your skin to be inflamed. You don't want your skin to be uncomfortable. So this is part of why we talked about what not to do, right? If you have a question also, feel free to call us, phone us, text us. We're happy to help you with the skincare products that you have on hand. This is not just about our brand. Our brand, we believe, is amazing because we do formulate it, and we're very, very conscientious and aware of our formulation and the chemistry, and we study skin. We study the skin through aging. We study the chemistry of the skin. We study what the components are, and we create formulations that go in and put these nutrients back into the skin. But if you have product that you've spent your hard-earned money or you're confused out there, we are happy to help break it down for you, and happy to see how you can utilize these products in a more efficient way, in a way that your skin will be happy and you'll get the results that you want, right? And this is really good learning.
Even if it's something not Isomers branded, and because you do pick up things from different places, and that's okay. So let us know. Our customers are great about knowing how to reach out to us. I mean, in all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, calling, emailing, we're here for you regardless how you want to reach out to us.
Exactly.
Everybody
So-
has their thing. It's fine.
Right. And you can ask us questions or make suggestions, or what more you want to learn from us, because that's also important. Like, how else can we help you? What question do you have? Where would you like to go with your skin? What interests you in skincare? Feel free to ask us, and we're happy.
We're not the brand that's going to give you something and say, hey, we've got this amazing deal, take it, and then walk away from you. We're not going to walk away from you. We're always there.
Yeah, this is
And we've always been there from the beginning. Customer appreciation and service and being attainable was always important to us. Always.
Many years ago, a friend of mine, she was running a very posh store in Toronto, Hope Renfrew, and she was really wanting to get Isomers brand in Hope Renfrew. And we were like, well, retail is not our forte. We like to be able to be talking to you directly, because I think it's important when that's science. And when you're doing it with retail, you have maybe people that are not so trained, or they're driven by sales goals or things like that. And it's not really about you. So we want to make it about you. And I said to her, and she was after us for a while, and I was like, why do you want it so much? She said, because, when people manufacture makeup, they date you. When they buy your makeup, they're dating you. You're dating. When they buy your foundation, you're engaged. But when you buy their skincare, they're married. So I was like, that's really interesting. And that's how we feel about our skincare. This is a long-term relationship. We're
Yes.
with you for life. And there's ups and downs. There's things that, throw us curves. We're going to work with you together to make it as comfortable of a journey as possible.
Absolutely. And the marriage can last forever. We can get married when you're 20 and we can hold hands right through to 99 plus.
That's right.
Because our skincare will focus and target on the different stages of aging. We don't always reach the same stage at the same age.
That's right. It's the condition of your skin. So your age and your stage, very important. So now let's get into what to do.
Yes.
Introducing Simple Science. So we have 2 configurations here. The first one is this one.
Yep.
Age, we call this one the Age Defying Duo. This one is a formulation that has the Simple Science 5% niacinamide right there, and the 1%, this is the microdose of retinol. Retinol, niacinamide, azelaic acid. Now, with retinoids, the other thing to do, we told you all the things not to do, the thing you want to do is go low and slow with retinoids when you start. That's very important. You want to be able to use your retinoid. Retinoid is something that, again, you're going to be married to retinoid for a very long time. You're going to have a long-term relationship with retinoids in your life.
When we first launched this, we had a lot of calls saying, I used retinol 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, and it was terrible for my skin. Why are you selling your retinol? And that was the conversation was, well, because you probably went with a 2% or a prescription strength and no one's told you to go low and slow. They just said, take it and run. We're saying, take it, do it low and slow. I tell people, start with every other night. Start with every other night. You're still getting results. You're using the product. You're doing right by your skin because you don't want to have to deal with a compromised skin later on. If your skin is fine every other night, use it every night then.
Yeah, every night, every other. You've got to build up to it. Now, ours is a low dose. We've also married it with niacinamide.
Wait 1 second. We're almost at 20 minutes, so I think we're going to have to cut it into 2. So do the retinol duo, and then we'll do another episode on the other one later.
And then we can just end it off with, come back.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have more of what not to do. And run. We're saying, take it, do it low and slow. I tell people, start with every other night. Start with every other night. You're still getting results. You're using the product. You're doing right by your skin because you don't want to have to deal with a compromised skin later on. If your skin is fine every other night, use it every night then.
Yeah, every night, every other. You've got to build up to it. Now, ours is a low dose. We've also married it with niacinamide.
Wait 1 second. We're almost at 20 minutes, so I think we're going to have to cut it into 2. So do the retinol duo, and then we'll do another episode on the other one later.
And then we can just end it off with, come back.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have more of what not to do.
Yeah, or what to do.
Yeah.
We can change it up.
Okay. So where do you want us to pick
We're
up?
going
We
to
can
talk
start
about,
going into that one, yeah, the retinol one.
we'll talk about this
Yeah.
and then it's done.
Okay. So do we go all over again about the low and slow or
No, you can keep going from where you stop.
So we married it. So this one here, what I really like about the microdose of the retinol, it also has the 1% azelaic acid, very brightening, very good for your skin, very anti-aging, and it has a 3% niacinamide. Now remember our percentages here, clinical amount, 3% niacinamide. This is also very important. This is going to be brightening and soothing for your skin. This one is considered, this is a nighttime serum, and you can mix your retinol with niacinamide and azelaic acid. This is what you want to do, is actually introduce a niacinamide to your retinol because of its antioxidant effect, its cushioning effect, its soothing effect, its calming effect. So you're going to get the work from the retinol, and even with a low dose. Now this is what's really interesting with retinoids, is that use it, don't use it. And you're always starting at the beginning again, and your skin is always sensitive. So somebody, not us, but somebody very smart, I wish I knew who it was because it was very brilliant, they decided to go the other way. They started to do lower and lower doses of retinoids and retinols and started to measure long term what was happening, 6 months later, 1 year later. And they discovered that if you're using a high dose and you're playing the on-off game where you're burning your skin and not burning your skin and going through a lot of trauma, or you use a very low dose every day or every other day, you actually have better results, the benefit of that one. This one also comes with the 5% niacinamide, which is really important because you could use this in the daytime.
This is a great daytime serum. Oh, look, I've had cream on my hands, so now I can't open the bottle. But that's how tightly we close our bottle.